Hi everybody, this is Mike from Old Barn Nursery and Jen's behind the camera.
Hi everybody.
Today we're going to do a little different pepper review. Normally we're eating peppers or doing sauces or showing our garden or something like that. But today we're going to focus in on the Carolina Reaper. As probably all of you know that's watching this video, there's been a lot of buzz about this pepper lately. Most of it negative. A lot of people calling it unstable strain, saying it's a 7-pot primo, saying things about Ed Curry. That this is a big money machine and everything else. And I kind of like to shed some light on that from a personal perspective. As most of you know, we're a very large grower of the Carolina Reaper. Other than Ed, we're actually the biggest one in the world to my knowledge. And I think a lot of people think that because we grow those and whatever, that we have stock in this, good or bad. Before I go into other things, let me set the record straight on that. First of all, when we got our seeds from Ed Curry, I didn't even hardly know Ed Curry. He didn't hardly know me. We were just kind of being proactive about this Reaper because it was the big thing this year, so I wanted to grow quite a few of them. When he sent me the seeds, they were not hand selected by Ed or anything else because, like I said, Ed didn't even know me. He knew me, but we weren't friends or anything. Since that time, Ed and I have become very good friends, both personally and professionally. But the one thing to keep in mind about this that nobody knows other than Ed, and Ed knows I'm going to say this, we will not be selling Reapers in any way, shape, or form to the general public. Plants, seeds, peppers, nothing. Okay? All the peppers we have are going directly to Ed Curry. I'm contracted to Ed to sell these directly to him. My point of saying that is I have nothing to lose, nothing to gain by telling you this. If these things all turned out to be orange habaneros, contracts work both ways. Ed still has to buy them from me. So I'd have no reason to come out and say these Reapers are this or that if they're not. If they're orange habaneros, I'd come out and say, you know what, these Reapers are crap and they're a fake and they're a fraud and Ed's all about money. And guess what, Ed Curry'd still have to buy them from me because he's under contract to do so. So I have no reason to lie to you about these peppers. One thing I've noticed about these is people are saying they're unstable and this and that. Most varieties of peppers I've ever seen, you get variation on the plant itself. You might get a Moruga or a brain strain or whatever, and there's variation within that plant. What I've noticed about these Reapers, there's really not any variation on the plant. If you have Reaper looking pods on that plant, they're all Reaper looking pods. If you get a plant that has variation, they're all varied on that particular plant. Now what I'd like to show you out here, this is one of our Reaper fields. This particular field has 2,200 Reapers in it. Jen and I spent time, and I've waited a little bit to do this video because I wanted everything to start getting some pods on it to make sure. We went through every single one of these plants by hand, and we've marked out all of them with a red flag that do not conform to a Reaper pod. They're Naga looking, still very cool looking pods, but they're not Reapers. But out of 2,200 plants, which I'll show you here in a second, 36 of them, which you'll see marked, are not Reapers. Now if you do the math on that, out of 2,200 plants, 36 of them are wrong. That's 1.6% variation. I challenge anybody out there to show me any species, whether it be on a whole plant or on a particular plant variation, whatever. Take anybody with that kind of sampling, which is 2,200 plants, that's a huge sampling. I challenge anybody to show me any species that has less than 1.6% variation. That is very, very minute variation. I seen a post on THP the other day, I think it was yesterday, a guy, which I'm not even sure if he knows what he's talking about, but basically saying an F1 should have this much variation, an F2 this much variation. I think he said an F8 was 95% true. Well, these are 1.6% untrue. So that'd be what, 98.4% true? That is fabulous regardless of the species. So anybody that wants to come out and say that these Reapers are not true, yes they are. As far as the Primo, Troy Primo is a great guy. I've got seeds directly from him. I like him. He's got a great pepper. But I grow a whole boatload of those too, and I can assure you 100%, the Carolina Reaper and the 7-pot Primo are not the same pepper. You can hold them together, they're not. I know in pictures they might look the same. When you get those, a true Troy Primo and an Ed Curry pucker butt pepper, they're not the same. In terms of the negative stuff, this is my opinion only, but as most of you know, when you get up to Ed Curry's level, this is a cutthroat industry. It's an unfortunate thing, but it's true, it's a fact. There's a lot of people out there that would highly benefit from the demise of Ed Curry and pucker butt. So when you see people posting negative this, negative that, keep in mind those people could very easily be put there in places by other people to do that. And also consider the fact that between Ed and Joe, whether Ed sold them directly or indirectly, there was tens of thousands of seeds sold this year. Thousands of them. I've seen maybe 30, 40, 50 people at the most, even if you said 100 people that said, oh, I got a variation in my plant. 100, even 200 people out of tens of thousands of people, that's pretty good. Now to end this thing, I'm going to show you the 36 flags. I'll take the camera here from Jen. This is one of our Reaper fields, and as you can see, these red flags, hopefully you can see them on here, these were marked which ones are not a Carolina Reaper look. And like I said, they're still very cool, but they aren't a Reaper. However, that's a 1.6% variation, as I stated already. And again, I challenge anybody to show me any species that has greater than or less than 1.6% variation, because it doesn't exist. If it does, show it to me. That's all, folks. See ya.